The 2013 Garage Sale Mystery is the very first Garage Sale Mysteries film, and I don't want to spend the entire discussion comparing it to the rest of them, but just very briefly, it feels a little different, the editing is a little different, and the cast is certainly different, but it's a really good start to what became a really fantastic series. This was directed by Peter DeLuise, written by Walter Klenhard, based, of course, on the books by Susie Weinert, and stars Lori Loughlin as Jennifer Shannon. And her family are played by different actors. We do also have Sarah Strange, who plays Danny, but pretty much everything else is different, but it's the same concept. Jennifer stumbles upon a murder and she does everything she can to try and find out what on earth has happened. These murders seem to revolve around garage sales, which is, I guess, where the title for this came from, because it seems like there are a series of break-ins and it's suspected that people will go to garage sales, get a good look at a person's house. It allows them the time to spend time outside the house without looking suspicious, so they can plan the easiest way inside. And then there is a murder, and it seems like it might be connected. And I don't want to say too much about it, but I thought it was, well, the narrative makes sense for a series that went on to be called Garage Sale Mysteries, because after this fact, the majority of them don't actually centre around garage sales, but there usually is an antique angle in there, and we do have an antique vase in this, which is rather attractive, and that part of the narrative was pretty interesting, and I really liked how that concluded. We have some subplots, nothing too interesting. Hannah is going through a breakup, but there might be a new love interest in her life. Again, I won't spoil that too much, but it was fine. As padding, it's fine. The main narrative was certainly very interesting. It made a lot of sense as it progressed. I didn't work out what was going on. Sometimes I do with garage sale mysteries, sometimes I don't. And on this occasion, I didn't, and I'm absolutely fine with that. I still found it to be very enjoyable. The only thing I didn't love, and I might not have thought this had I not seen any others, but a lot of the editing is very choppy. We're getting a lot of quick focuses on things, and it bounces around a little bit. Certainly at the beginning, it kind of slowed down a bit as we went through the narrative, I guess, as we had more to focus on. And I guess they're trying to do that to create this air of suspense. We're not sure where to look. It's unclear what's going on sometimes. And yes, it is atmospheric, but they don't do that in the later films, and I prefer that. So as I said, had this been the first one I'd seen, I probably wouldn't have mentioned that, but just as a point of improvement, I think the editing is better in the later films. But nevertheless, I really thoroughly enjoyed this, and I feel like the narrative is fascinating enough, and it makes perfect sense being called Garage Sale Mystery. It's not a bad start. It is a little different to the others, but that's not the fault of the film, of course. This one came first, and I did enjoy it. If you've seen some of the others and you've liked them, then definitely check this one out. It feels a little different, but that being said, I don't have any complaints. Even the editing that I didn't particularly love wasn't necessarily bad. It was just different. If you're a fan of the Garage Sale Mysteries and you haven't seen this one, of course it's worth checking out. Not just because it's an interesting narrative, but because it's great to see where it all began. By no means is it my favourite, but I also can't really fault it. Generally, I enjoyed watching it, and I'm very happy to recommend it.